Here is how I designed these sounds using the new SpinTracer update. I started by recording several source materials and designing sounds to route them per orbs in the plugin. I then routed the 16 sounds to the individual SpinTracer inputs to morph each sound together while letting me control their movement. As you can see, the user panel changed a little bit. There are now 2 sections, reducing the size of each window. The lower section has the classic Doppler output, panning, and reflection sections. The upper one introduces the new multichannel tremolo feature. First, the indicators show you the position of the orbs around the listener. The range corresponds to the radius from the listener position, and around it sit the max and min settings for the dry, wet, and rate. When it's set to tracer, each orb has the same tremolo. The offset feature lets you offset the phase of each orb. If you set it to orb, each orb gets its own tremolo rate, calculated from its individual distance from the listener. The curves lets you shape the transition from min to max rate in 2 different ways, either exponential or logarithmic, going to linear in the center. It affects how fast the sounds are interacting with the listener. I personally love to MIDI control the max settings while moving the mouth around the listener position. It gives me better control over the outcome and therefore more useful results. In the input section, you also now have the option to spread the various orbs up to 1 second, which helps fix the phasing issue you can get sometimes when playing with so many sounds at the same time. There's also a panning section for the dry-wet signal, which lets you blend nicely between the dry signal unaffected by the effect and the fully wet signal. As well as an X over dry wet, which controls how much low end will be affected by the effect. And here is the final result. Feel free to use the code RenardSound on checkout to get a 10% off.